Hello all, Johanna here, coming in to tell you about the world of recreation in the 19th century. Recreation is really interesting at this period because it's actually undergoing a whole lot of changes. Earlier on in the 19th century, recreation was seen as something superfluous, something that took away from more important things like just the daily tasks of living or perhaps even going to church. However, in the later 19th century, these ideas started to change. It was in the mid-19th century that many people lived on farms. However, especially up north, there were a lot of people moving into larger cities, and so those close-knit country communities and their traditions were beginning to change. So we see a lot of different recreational sports started. These recreational sports can include foot races, harness racing, even prize fighting and wrestling. There were tons of different things popping up as people were beginning to try out these new sports. But a lot of sports included things that we might think of today. The first of these is fishing. Now, everybody loves to fish no matter what century you're in. And in the 19th century, fishing looked just a little bit different. Think Tom Sawyer in a way. They would probably use river cane, which is a little bit like bamboo, but it's a natural cane that grows here in South Carolina in a lot of places here in the Carolina backcountry. It's a strong pole, and on it you would hang, of course, a metal hook. And hanging between the two, well, you had a cotton string. If you were maybe a little bit fancier or had a little bit more money, you could actually have a silk string to use as your fishing line. But most people just used a very sturdy and strong cotton. Our second recreational sport is hiking. Now today, hiking is a huge recreation. It's easy, of course you can just hit a trail. And in the 19th century, the concept was pretty much the same. Now a lot of people traveled by foot, but hiking as a whole separated sport really became popular because it was something to do with a group. It was something to do as a fun activity, and especially if there was a beautiful view to go up to. So hiking began really as a necessity, but it grew to be more of a community sport, if you will. The last thing has to do with horses. Now I know I mentioned harness racing and horse racing before, but a lot of sports really centered around horses because they were a central part of the 19th century and part of just everyday life, no matter who you were. And so simply riding around in a group again as some sort of a leisure activity was part of life. Thank you for joining us for Time Travel Tuesday and our theme, recreation. I hope you learned a little bit and enjoyed it. Now, remember, we have several events coming up. We are opening soon. So please join us for Huck's Defeat on July 10th and 11th. Keep tuned on social media for more details, and I'll see you out there. Thanks!